Hello viewers, this is Attorney Naresh Gehi, and as per to our promise, we are live on Zoom, and the easy way to basically get logged on is that we send you folks, a newsletter, and we are also on Facebook now. So the good news is that this is a live show. A live show means you can ask me questions, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. And let me just basically, for people who are new to this, I just want them to know it's so easy that you can just basically press that link which was sent to you by wonderful Dan. And thank you so much, Dan, for the good work which you're doing. And Dan is basically my technical expert, and he helps me with everything here. So now today's show is live, and so if you are on YouTube or if you are on Facebook, for example, you can click that link right now. So I'll be able to answer your questions live. Easy thing is to just click on the Zoom link. And if you want your questions answered. So today's topic is about options for H1B visa holders. Now, as you all rightly know, that we handle some of the most complicated cases from all over the United States and the world in connection with immigration matters. So we are going to give you some great options, especially if you're in an H1B visa and you're worried about what's happening. And according to a recent report today, more than 250,000 H1B visa holders may be without a job by the end of June. So that's basically the analysis that has come from Mr. Newfield, who happens to be an analyst as far as H1B visas are concerned. And it's so sad to see that people are worried, they're scared. Now, if you are in this situation wherein you think that you are going to lose your job, or you're anticipating that your job is going to be lost, or like, if you've already lost your job and you're within that 60-day period, what can you do? So the first thing you need to do is, luckily you have the 60-day grace period. Now, some people are asking me, Mr. Gehi, what should I do? I'm very stressed. Stress is normal. And we've been helping a lot of people actually, because we are working remotely and helping people. Now, what are we doing in those cases? Let's basically be straight shooters out here. Number one is that you can change your status. Now, what happens is that now you're an H1B visa holder. Now, let's talk by means of this example. Now, what status you should consider changing to? You can, if you're very bright and if you're brilliant, do you know that you can self-sponsor yourself for an O visa? You can self-sponsor, which means you do not even need a sponsor. Now, who should consider that? A person who is basically someone like who's been published a lot, or someone, published a lot means if you've been in fantastic periodicals, or like, or you've spoken at great conferences, and if you're a person with a very advanced degree, like if you're a PhD, holder or something of that sort, and you should consider the O visa first. Now, I'm going to teach you everything step by step so you understand your options. So there are some people who call me that, and they tell me that I'm very close to getting this O visa because I am missing very few things. What can we do? We can start working on your resume. So there's a saying in English that when the great get going, the going gets great. Contact us and we'll review your resume. And what are we going to look at to see how many years of experience you have, what kind of salaries you are earning, and whether you have any publications, or if you have an advanced degree, or what can you offer. That's number one. Second thing, what we can do is that most people, what they're doing, they're jumping to a student visa. Not a bad option, but going to school again, it's not easy, but that may be one of your options. And consider whether the school can offer you, some kind of, CPT. That's how, like, we've been looking at those cases that are coming to us even right now. So, like, someone recently contacted me. They said, Mr. Gehi, let's work together and let's plan basically, the fact that I want to go back to school. So when you go back to school, that's another thing you need to think about. Do not waste your money by just going to a school wherein you're not going to gather exceptional skills. Remember the word exceptional skills. Because if you plan your curriculum properly, the good news is that some other employer may be able to hire you. So plan that. That is very, very important. And, So you need to make sure that basically you plan that properly as to what courses you're going to basically take when you are in school. So that is very important, and I'd be happy to consult with you on that. Now, third option, which I tell people, is that it's been years. You're this wonderful, handsome man, and you're this beautiful, gorgeous-looking woman like Angelina Jolie. Consider getting married, folks. There's nothing wrong in marrying the right person. And there's some good news for you. The good news for you is that what you need to do, even if you cannot find an American citizen, you can marry a green card holder. There's a saying in English that something is better than nothing. So you married this great green card holder and we can work with you. That's the other option that people are exploring. Now you all are going to love the fourth option. And not many lawyers talk about the fourth option because we've done this for our clients in the past. And you can still consider applying for a late political asylum. And for that, you really need to go with a very seasoned lawyer. Because what happens is that once you apply, during that period of the application, you are legal. So there are case laws on the point that you'll be legal, and that needs a tremendous amount of knowledge as to how those cases work out and how you fight them before the judge. So the bottom line is, do not become out of status in this country, because if you are going to be out of status, you're looking at a problem here. And now the last option which people are doing, which you all know, is that people are going for a visitor's visa. Now people are going for a visitor's visa so that they can buy the 6 months. Yes, we can help you with that. But is that a permanent solution? The answer is no. That's just a temporary fix. Start looking at some permanent fixes that help you out. Now, next basically solution to you is that you are on a STEM OPD right now and you do not belong to India or to China. Start speaking to your employer right now and tell them that I've looked at Mr. Gehi's videos, and there's a possibility that we can work together. Tell them to start your green card process even now if they love you. So now let me answer this question very clearly for my viewers. You are on a student visa. You have a STEM OPT. Do you know that you do not have to be on an H1B? You can apply for your green card directly. And if you are not from a country, if you're not from India, or if you're not from China, then that's great news for you. You may qualify for a green card in a year and a half. So those are some of the options that are available to people at this stage. And, do not panic, do not fear. There's another good saying which I love: fortune favors the brave. So if you are brave, and if you think that you want to basically make it, and if you want to make sure that that you want to get your case going, contact us. And another option for H1B visa holders. I'm back to one other option. Take an example about somebody here, and you're dealing with Mr. Iyer. I'm just taking a name, and Mr. Iyer. Now he's on an H1B visa, and his employer is also very unhappy to see this Mr. Iyer, who's a wonderful person, and this is just a fictitious name, I'm just using it. So, but the employer loves him very much, but he tells him that Mr. Iyer, the problem is that because of the current situation, the company is losing a lot of money. And unfortunately, I cannot keep you as per to what your terms and under the contract were with the company. What can you do, Mr. Iyer? What you need to do, consider going on a part-time H1B. So that can solve the problem. And what we do, we've been doing this for some of our clients. We've been recommending them that immediately go for a part-time H1B. And if your employer wants to speak to me, go ahead. Shoot me an email at info@gehilaw.com, and Dan will be kind enough to type it over here. You can just put it on the chat, Dan. So that's going to help our viewers a lot. And Dan is also going to put this up, I would say, for all of us. And I'm also going to type it over here, info@gehilaw.com. So what happens is that if you're in the situation wherein exactly your employer is in an emergency, he's in a rush, and if he's saying that exactly we need to figure something out, I'll try to see that I get in touch with the employer and we discuss some options. So folks, my humble request, And today's show, Green Card with Gehi, that's the name of a show. It's all about exactly how you are going to handle the situation. I want you to be brave. Remember, you come such a long way. Do you know you are among the few brilliant people in this country? And I do understand people like, who say that, whatever that is, I don't want to get into anything, but you guys have come so far. And just having that moral courage and saying that you can do it will take you folks a long way. So at the end of this session, we generally are going to take some questions, and we have some questions right now from Mr. Wonderful Abdul Haldar. Do you have any questions for Mr. Gehi? I love that, and people can ask me questions. Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Abdul, and I greatly appreciate it. So I'm live, so I'm answering questions. Would you kindly let me know how can I renew my work permit in this situation? And this, can I do online? What document do I need to make ready? Can I get a link, please? Question for you, Mr. Gay. Now, depends on under what category you are. And then this wonderful person needs the Zoom access. So if you could type the Zoom access here, help them out, that'll be great. So now, if you need a work permit, of course, you need to fall under a category. For example, like if you're married to an American citizen, or if you have applied for asylum, then only you can get a work permit. You need to have some kind of application that you are processing at this point of time with USCIS, then only you can get a work permit. So what you can do is that we are getting questions here, and you can also use a chat feature. Put the questions on Zoom on the chat feature, and I'm live, and I'm still going to stay here for the next few minutes to see whether you have any more questions. But if not, I'm going to answer the questions which I've received from a lot of our viewers, especially like asking me to answer them on Zoom. So the thing over here is that now let's finish this question up that we were talking about is, would you kindly tell me how can I renew my work permit in this situation? So I would request you to let me know basically what kind of category you have, so then I can tell you of how you can renew your work permit. So if you could add some more stuff to your question, some more kind of, if you'd give me some more meat, I would be happy to help you. Can I do it online? Of course, there are online applications. So some of them are e-filing, which you can do. That shouldn't be a problem. What documents do I need to make it ready? Depends on the facts and circumstances of your case. So if you know about your application, for example, my situation here means COVID. So you mean COVID means just by basically being under COVID, that doesn't mean anything. You need to either have an asylum application in, or you need to have an EAD based upon an I-140 which is approved and a 485 which is pending. Now there's another thing that you can do, folks. The last and the wonderful thing you guys are going to like, and not many people know this option. You have your I-140 approved. If you want to have your work permit, and if you have exceptional circumstances, this is the time to exercise it. Anything that is out of the ordinary, that you cannot go back to your country because there's a war going on in Syria, there's a problem in your country, you're going to fear political persecution. So those factors can be explored. And for these things, you definitely need a very seasoned lawyer. You don't have to come to me. Go to someone who's very highly experienced. And we handle immigration cases from all over the United States and the world. A lot of our clients are employers of big companies. They contact me, especially for very difficult cases, but they're looking for a solution. But if your boss loves you very much, and if he's ready to work with you, then there may be light at the end of the tunnel for you to remain legal during these difficult times. So the problem is that exactly, I don't want you to lose your status. It's much better for you to leave the country and go back rather than accruing unlawful presence, because under 212A, 212A of the Act, 212A9B of the Act, if you become illegal, which means if you start getting unlawful presence in the country, then as you rightly know, after 6 months, you're going to accrue the 3-year bar. After 1 year, you're going to accrue the 10-year bar. So stay legal. And if you have any questions, you can email me at info@gehilaw.com. And our office is still functioning even under the current COVID situation. You can call us at 718 263-5999 for a free initial personal consultation. This is Attorney Gehi on Green Card with Gehi, and our next show is going to be on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Remember, we are here for you on Mondays and on Wednesdays on Zoom. So you can spread the message, you can spread the video, tell them Mr. Gehi is on Zoom. It's a fantastic opportunity for you folks to ask questions. Now, let me look at this question which is over here. Now, see, people have already started, posting questions on Zoom. So I'm going to tell you what's the next question. So I live in Bangladesh, sir. I saw the news about US green cards ban by the Trump administration. How might be affected student like us who want to come to USA after? Please, sir, make a video on that. Okay, so I'm going to make a video about that. And if you have topics, let us know. We'll talk about it. And see you folks again. You all are a wonderful audience. Stay safe, stay blessed. Prior results do not guarantee future outcome. And this instant program is an attorney advertisement. And this is Attorney Gehi on Zoom. And the name of the show is Green Card with Gehi. Watch our next segment on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.